Special thanks to our members for supporting the channel. Follow the link here if you want to join. Godzilla Kong has given us tons of amazing action set pieces that have left a lasting impression on viewers long after the film has ended. The Egypt fight that felt so real I had to rub the sand out my eyes, the drowned viper attack which showed us just how deadly Hollow Earth fauna can be, and the anti-gravity fight that just blew my mind. That was just epic. But the final fight, which to many was the most impactful battle, was the Great War of Rio, where Scar King and Shimo faced off against the mighty Alpha Titans, Kong, and the King of the Monsters. It was a fast-paced, brutal, chaotic fight which flattened much of the iconic city, leaving this once stunning scenic holiday location as a flattened, cold wasteland. It gave us that large-scale city destruction that fans craved, giving us real-life structures to compare the sheer size of the Titans against. Like this shot of Godzilla pushing Shimo through a building is one of my favorite shots in the series. I just can't get enough of Godzilla crashing through skyscrapers. But did you know that this battle was originally meant to be very different? Just recently I bought The Art of Godzilla Kong and was scrolling through the pages to get a look at that final battle concept art, and I noticed something. This art looks a little different to the ones I posted earlier. If you look closely, the concept art posted online takes place in somewhere completely different. Whilst the final film Climax is in Rio de Janeiro, the film's final battle was originally going to take place in Moscow, Russia. And the vibe was really completely different to the final scene, looking a lot more apocalyptic with a red fiery atmospheric haze that makes this really feel like an end-of-the-world situation. In the frame we can see the iconic St. Basil's Cathedral, which looked amazing as a backdrop for such an important fight that decides the fate of the world. This would have definitely been a more visually impressive set piece, since Moscow has arguably more iconic and recognizable buildings. And to my surprise, the art book just pretends like it was never gonna happen. There's just zero evidence that Russia was even thought about for the climax, even though earlier concepts show that this was originally the plan. So why did they change it? Well, there's a few reasons. Well, obviously there's the very real circumstances going on in Russia and Ukraine that would make a complete wipeout of Russia's capital an extremely sensitive topic. It would be pretty insensitive to start destroying a city in a country that's currently invading another. We don't know how the conflict could escalate, so visuals like this could become a real possibility in just a few years' time. Obviously just without the monsters. It's likely that Legendary wanted to avoid resembling anything war-related in Russia and instead diverted to another country, Brazil. But the second reason they likely switched over is because since Shimo has ice powers, they wanted a setting where snow is an abnormality. Russia is synonymous with snow and cold weather, so something like Shimo coming along and bringing the next ice age would stand out less than doing it in a hot country where it literally never snows. Which means there's more of a visual contrast between the sunny hotspot location and the sudden Arctic weather brought by the ancient frost titan. Both are valid reasons, though it's still very confusing that the art book completely ignores the original concepts, instead of showing the collaborative change in the filmmaking process and how these decisions are made, which is a bit disappointing. The idea of it being set in Russia makes complete sense when you look at the designs of the Scar King and his army. The whole visual of a red army being led by a power-hungry tyrant that rules with a creature of snow and ice is very clear that Shimo represents the motherland, being abused by a power-hungry overlord who's willing to have her suffer as a means to gain more power. It's all deliberately an allegory for the current political climate in Russia, and the climax being set in Moscow solidifies that. But clearly due to escalating tensions, they decided to veer away from directly visualizing the metaphor, though elements still remain of this once pretty strong idea. So that's the battle in Russia you didn't see in Godzilla Kong: The New Empire. Do you prefer to see the battle in Moscow, or did you prefer the Rio set piece? Honestly, I think that setting it in Russia would have been far more impactful because of the circumstances going on in Ukraine. Challenge them instead of backing down. But clearly Legendary didn't want any controversy for this film, which I understand. But let me know what you think. Be sure to subscribe and stomp the notification button to keep up to date on everything Goji related. I've been Alistair, and we'll see you residents in the